This video is not intended to encourage or glorify any kind of drug use. The sole purpose of these videos is to educate you on the dangers of what these substances can do to you. Please do not do any of the acts mentioned in this video. I repeat, do not do any of the acts mentioned in this video. Welcome back to the Ultimate Drug Iceberg series, where I go over every single substance that is in this iceberg chart that was created by Drops. Let's not waste any more time, as we have a lot to get to. Modafinil is used to treat excessive sleepiness caused by narcolepsy or shift work sleep disorder, sleepiness during scheduled waking hours, and difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep during scheduled sleeping hours in people who work at night or on rotating shifts. Modafinil is also used along with breathing devices or other treatments to prevent excessive sleepiness caused by obstructive sleep apnea or hypopnea syndrome, OSAHS, a sleep disorder in which the patient briefly stops breathing or breathes shallowly many times during sleep, and therefore doesn't get enough restful sleep. Modafinil is in a class of medications called wakefulness-promoting agents. It works by changing the amounts of certain natural substances in the area of the brain that controls sleep and wakefulness. Ritalin is used to treat attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD. It works by changing the amounts of certain natural substances in the brain. Methylphenidate belongs to a class of drugs known as stimulants. It can increase your ability to pay attention, stay focused on an activity, and control behavior problems. It may also help you to organize your tasks and improve listening skills. This medication is also used to treat a certain sleep disorder, narcolepsy. Ibotenic acid is a chemical compound and psychoactive drug which occurs naturally in Amanita muscaria and related species of mushrooms typically found in the temperate and boreal regions of the northern hemisphere. It is a prodrug of muscimol broken down by the liver to that much more stable compound. It is a conformationally restricted analog of the neurotransmitter glutamate, and due to its structural similarity to this neurotransmitter, it acts as a non-selective glutamate receptor agonist. Because of this, ibotenic acid can be a powerful neurotoxin in high doses, and is employed as a brain lesioning agent through cranial injections in scientific research. The neurotoxic effects appear to be dose-related, and risks are unclear through consumption of ibotenic acid-containing fungi, although thought to be negligible in small doses. I recently got 15 grams of Amanita muscaria from an internet site. The day they arrived, I waited until I had the house to myself and took 2 medium-sized caps. I then sat on my computer and waited for the effects to take over. I waited for about 45 minutes and I thought I got ripped off. Then all of a sudden, my stomach felt like I had a terrible case of the flu. I got off the computer and laid down on my bed. The nausea was almost too much to bear. I found that not moving helped a little, and I didn't have any weed to smoke, so I just had to deal with it. The nausea went away in like 30 minutes, and the trip began. I got very tired, and my vision was completely blurred. Keeping my eyes open was pointless, so I closed my eyes and had the weirdest closed-eye visuals ever. Every memory I ever had flashed in my mind. I could also make things appear in my head that I thought of. Everything was going fine until I just threw up all over the place. No warning, just a blast of puke all over my room. I ran to the bathroom and puked violently in the toilet. I threw up more than what I had eaten. I then blacked out for a few hours having some intense dreams. When I woke up, I was treated as something that felt like someone was stabbing pins in my dick. On all the reports I read on the site, no one has ever said anything about that. The pain was so unbearable that I was contemplating whether or not I should call someone and take me to the hospital. It was so bad. The pain eventually went away, and once again I passed out. I woke up the next morning still kind of feeling the effects and fell back asleep and woke up again feeling refreshed. I would not recommend this to anyone, but if you're going to try it, start with a smaller dose. I might not have had some of the reactions I had if I just ate a few grams. Steroids are synthetically produced variants of the naturally occurring male hormone testosterone that are abused in an attempt to promote muscle strength, enhance athletic or other physical performance, and improve physical appearance. Testosterone, trenbolone, oxymethylone, methandrostenolone, nandrolone, stanozolol, boldenone, and oxandrolone are some of the anabolic steroids that are most commonly encountered by United States law enforcement. Poppers are a slang term referring to recreational drugs belonging to the alkyl nitrite family of chemical compounds. When fumes from these substances are inhaled, they act as potent vasodilators, producing mild euphoria, warmth, and dizziness. Most effects have a rapid onset and are short-acting. Its recreational use is believed to be potentially dangerous for people with heart problems, anemia, and glaucoma. Reported adverse effects include fainting, retinal toxicity, and vision loss. Codeine is used to relieve mild to moderate pain. It belongs to the group of medicines called narcotic analgesics, pain medicines. This medicine acts on the central nervous system to relieve pain. Tramadol is used to relieve moderate to moderately severe pain, including pain after surgery. It is also used to treat pain severe enough to require opioid treatment, and when other pain medicines do not work well enough or cannot be tolerated. The extended-release capsules or tablets are used for chronic ongoing pain. Tramadol belongs to the group of medicines called opioid analgesics. It acts in the central nervous system to relieve pain. Amphetamines are psychostimulant drugs, which means they speed up the messages traveling between the brain and the body. Some types of amphetamines are prescribed by doctors to treat conditions such as attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, and narcolepsy. Amphetamines have also been used to treat Parkinson's disease. Other types of amphetamines, such as speed, are produced and sold illegally. Amphetamines have also been taken as performance enhancement drugs. The most potent form is crystal methamphetamine. I met up with friends at a local bar where I was offered 1 gram of pure amphetamine base. I took 0.2 grams of it at around 8 o'clock and drank a few beers while I came up. By 8:30, I was feeling a lot more awake and alert, and the hungover feeling from the the night before seemed to have vanished completely. I decided that I should go for another line at around 9:30 and snort another 0.2 grams of it. By this time, I had already consumed a large quantity of beer and spirits and was feeling as if the whole world had been sped up by about 50%. We made our way to a local club at around 11 o'clock, and although I had drank more alcohol than I would normally drink, I felt as if I was in total control of my actions and decided another line was in order. What a mistake I made. I completely blacked out. I cannot remember a thing until being back in my home around 5:30 with all my friends. They informed me that I had walked around in circles in the club all night, telling them that there was no time to stop when they approached me to talk. Anyway, I was still completely buzzing, although my legs felt really tired. We sat talking and drinking and smoking weed till I noticed it was 1 in the afternoon, and I still did not feel the need for any sleep. My friends left soon after, and I sat watching TV for hours. Every time I shut my eyes, I could hear my heart racing and had to open them again straight away. Around 10:30, I ended up taking 4 blue 10mg Diazepam to try and get to sleep and smoked a last joint. I cannot remember falling asleep or even how I made it to my bed, but managed to sleep for 14 hours uninterrupted. I totally underestimated the power of this white powder, and if I do it again, I won't be so stupid as to take so much, as it definitely lasts a lot longer than 24 hours. Magic mushrooms are a type of mushroom that contain the chemicals psilocybin or psilocin. These chemicals cause you to see, hear, and feel things that are not real, hallucinations. Viagra is used to treat male sexual function problems, impotence or erectile dysfunction, ED. In combination with sexual stimulation, sildenafil works by increasing blood flow to the penis to help a man get and keep an erection. This drug does not protect against sexually transmitted diseases such as HIV, hepatitis B, gonorrhea, and syphilis. Practice safe sex such as using latex condoms. Pregabalin is commonly used to treat nerve pain that may be associated with diabetes, shingles, or injury to the spinal cord. It is also used to treat pain from fibromyalgia. Pregabalin is also used in people with epilepsy to treat and prevent seizures, sometimes called convulsions. It also works in the central nervous system, or CNS, which includes the brain and spinal cord. Pregabalin may reduce the release of certain chemicals in the CNS that signal for pain. It is believed that pregabalin also blocks abnormal electrical activity in the brain that causes seizures, which slows down the spread of seizures. Oxazepam is used to relieve symptoms of anxiety, including anxiety caused by depression and the symptoms of alcohol withdrawal. This medicine may also be used to treat tension, agitation, and irritability in older patients. Oxazepam is a benzodiazepine. Benzodiazepines belong to the group of medicines called central nervous system depressants, which are medicines that slow down the nervous system. Zolpidem is used for a short time to treat a certain sleep problem, insomnia, in adults. If you have trouble falling asleep, it helps you fall asleep faster so you can get a better night's rest. Zolpidem belongs to a class of drugs called sedative hypnotics. It acts on your brain to produce a calming effect. I was recently prescribed Ambien for my current sleep disorder. I soon discovered their powerful effects thereafter. I began taking 10 milligrams during the day for a pleasant little buzz. Then just for the heck of it, I took 30 milligrams. I ended up enjoying this high too much. It just made me incredibly spaced out, followed by amnesia for several hours. I happened to enjoy blacking out. The day before a big trip, deployment to Iraq, I drove to work in the morning to get my backup supply of meds. I popped 2 right away. I then proceeded to my friend's house. They also took 2 each. I took another 2 and began to drink some beer, and that's about the last thing I remember. The next thing I know, I am in handcuffs being escorted to the police station. Apparently, I drove off the road and ended up rolling my brand new car, according to the police and my friend who pulled me from my totaled vehicle. Somehow I avoided being hurt, but was unfortunately charged with a DUI. Phenibut is a chemical similar to a brain chemical called gamma-aminobutyric acid, or GABA. It is used recreationally and as a drug in Russia. It may be unsafe. It is unsafe, by the way. Phenibut might decrease anxiety and have other effects on the body, but most research on Phenibut has been published in Russia. People use Phenibut for anxiety, alcohol use disorder, insomnia, depression, stress, and many other conditions, but there is no good scientific evidence to support these uses. Phenibut is also approved for use in Russia and some Eastern European countries. Due to safety concerns, it is not approved in the US for use in dietary supplements. Don't confuse Phenibut with GABA, these are not the same. Alprazolam is a benzodiazepine. It is thought that it works by enhancing the activity of certain neurotransmitters in the brain. Alprazolam is used to treat anxiety disorders, panic disorders, and anxiety caused by depression. So me, my brother, and a friend stumbled upon a bottle of Xanax at my friend's house. It was his mom's. The prescription expired in 1996, so we figured she didn't need it. We set out to the cemetery. Me and my friend both consumed 7 milligrams each. At this point, I don't remember drinking, but I know we did because I was found to have a blood alcohol content of 0.058. We allegedly hit a tree with my car. My brother jumped out. I did not know he did, so we continued on. Keep in mind, I recall none of this. We were found in the middle of an intersection, both passed out. We were taken to the hospital, then to the police station where I was released into my father's custody. I now face a DUI and possible jail time. Xanax impairs my memory big time. I can't recall the next 3 days after the accident. Be careful. Hashish, commonly shortened to hash, is an oleoresin made by compressing and processing parts of the cannabis plant, typically focusing on flowering buds, female flowers, containing the most trichomes. It is consumed as a psychoactive drug by smoking or oral ingestion. Hashish has a long history of usage in countries such as Afghanistan, Morocco, Egypt, Pakistan, India, Nepal, Iran, and Lebanon. Hashish consumption is also popular in Europe. In the United States, dried flowers or concentrates are more popular, and hash has seen a relative decrease in popularity following changes in laws that have indirectly allowed for the development and increased availability of cannabis extracts that are more potent than traditional hashish, although regional differences in product preferences exist. Absinthe is an overproof liquor, meaning it is a spirit whose alcohol by volume is over 50%. It is made from medicinal and culinary herbs, plants, and flowers steeped in high-proof spirits. The elixir was invented in Switzerland as a general cure-all by Pierre Ordinaire, a French physician, in 1792, writes Paul Harrington and Laura Moorhead in their book Cocktail, the Drink's Bible for the 21st Century. Its signature bitter anise flavor comes from a mix of herb including fennel and most notably wormwood, a bitter herb notorious for both its health benefits and supposed hallucinogenic properties. Wormwood contains a chemical called thujone, which when consumed in large quantities can act as a convulsant. In small quantities, like in a few servings of absinthe, thujone is totally harmless. Traditionally, absinthe is not bottled with added sugar, making it a high-proof spirit instead of a sweetened liqueur, which gives absinthe its sharp, harsh flavor. Noopept, previously GVS-111, is a nootropic developed by the Zakusov Institute of Pharmacology, Russian Academy of Medical Scientists, by T.A. Gudasheva. It is one of several nootropics developed based on the structure of paracetam. Its advantage over paracetam is that it can be taken at a lower dose. Noopept is a popular cognitive-enhancing supplement in the nootropic community. Proposed mechanism of actions based on preclinical studies include increasing acetylcholine signaling, increasing the expression of BDNF and NGF, protecting from glutamate toxicity, and increasing inhibitory neurotransmission in the brain. Bromazepam is a short-acting benzodiazepine with intermediate onset commonly used to treat panic disorders and severe anxiety, one of the benzodiazepines that is used in the treatment of anxiety disorders. It is a Schedule IV drug in the US and Canada and under the Convention on Psychotropic Substances. After a stupid alcohol, buds, and wild lettuce party, I found myself unable to come down, or felt like, the day after, and this unpleasant experience led me to what my doctor diagnosed as acute anxiety. He gave me bromazepam for 10 days, saying that it is not addictive. So I took my 4 5mg pills a day for 10 days, but the anxiety did not stop, so I continued with only 3 mg for 20 other days. After 1 month, I was not anxious anymore, but addicted to the substance, and so I experienced another kind of anxiety with the withdrawal. I decided to stop using only valerian root, red poppy, and St. John's wort as substitutes. It took me 1 month to break the addiction. The withdrawal symptoms included strong anxiety, pain in the legs, and so on. The pills did not only addict me, but fucked my brain and made me depressive. Finally, I went to another doctor who gave me rhodiola, which cured me. Bromazepam gave me nothing but more trouble. Now I know kava, and it is as calming as benzos. When I have occasional anxiety, I use it, and it works well. Peace. Bromazolam is a triazolobenzodiazepine, TBZD, which was first synthesized in 1976 but was never marketed. It has subsequently been sold as a designer drug, first being definitively identified by the EMCDDA in Sweden in 2016. It is the bromo instead of chloro analog of alprazolam and has similar sedative and anxiolytic effects to it and other benzodiazepines. The common dosage range for users of bromazolam was reported to be 1 to 2 milligrams, suggesting its potency is similar to alprazolam. Clonazepam is a benzodiazepine drug used for the acute treatment of panic disorder, epilepsy, and non-convulsive status epilepticus. The drug also has many off-label indications, including restless leg syndrome, acute mania, insomnia, and tardive dyskinesia. Clonazepam is a long-acting and high-potency benzodiazepine. It behaves as a GABA-A receptor agonist. Benzodiazepines facilitate GABA-A action by increasing the frequency of chloride channel openings, resulting in hyperpolarization of the neurons and reduced firing, thus producing calming effects on the brain by decreasing the excitability of neurons. Clonazepam also has serotonergic activity by increasing serotonin synthesis. Clonazolam is a drug of the triazolobenzodiazepine class, which are benzodiazepines fused with a triazole ring. Although little research has been done about its effects and metabolism, it is sold online as a designer drug. The synthesis of clonazolam was first reported in 1971, and the drug was described as the most active compound in the series tested. Depending on dose consumed, clonazolam may pose comparatively higher risk than other designer benzodiazepines due to its ability to produce strong sedation and amnesia at doses as small as 0.5 milligrams. The day started on a Thursday before an upcoming flight for vacation. Having a natural anxiety of flying, I ordered some clonazolam. The vial had a yellow color and it contained 150 milligrams per 15 milliliters of solution. Holy shit, that's a lot. The last thing I remember was dosing 0.5 milliliters of the liquid. The next thing I remember was searching for my car keys trying to go to the gas station to buy beer. Unable to find my car keys, I jumped on my bicycle and rode to the convenience store. This was the last thing I remember. I remember my mom caught me pulling into the driveway holding a case of beer. I dropped it and immediately ran upstairs to my room. I awoke the next day around noon, having missed my flight. I immediately found myself angry, ashamed, and confused that I had missed my flight. I picked up the phone mumbling some kind of gibberish, angry that my father had allowed me to miss the vacation over a missed flight. I finally awoke Saturday morning to my room with the door ripped off and my mom terrified downstairs. I asked what had happened and she filled me in with the acts from the day before. I had angrily called my father and told him all this stuff about he was irresponsible and vacation was more important than helping support my family. I have no memory of Thursday or Friday. It is Saturday and my mind is starting to come back. My mom still refuses to give me my car keys. I am left embarrassed and I know I've significantly damaged a lot of my personal relationships. Diazepam is an anxiolytic benzodiazepine, first patented and marketed in the United States in 1963. It is a fast-acting, long-lasting benzodiazepine commonly used to treat anxiety disorders and alcohol detoxification, acute recurrent seizures, severe muscle spasms, and spastically associated with neurological disorders. In acute alcohol withdrawal, diazepam is useful for symptomatic relief of agitation, tremor, alcoholic hallucinosis, and acute delirium tremens. Benzodiazepines have largely replaced barbiturates in treating anxiety and sleep disorders because of their improved safety profile, fewer side effects, and antagonist availability that can reverse oversedation in cases of benzodiazepine intoxication. Flunitrazepam, sold under the brand name Rohypnol among others, is a benzodiazepine used to treat severe insomnia and assist with anesthesia. As with other hypnotics, flunitrazepam has been advised to be prescribed only for short-term use or by those with chronic insomnia on an occasional basis. It was patented in 1962 and came into medical use in 1974. Flunitrazepam, nicknamed Roofies or Flunies, is widely known for its use as a date rape drug. Etizolam is a thiionodiazepine which is chemically related to a class of substances known as benzodiazepines. Etizolam is currently a prescription medication in Japan, India, and Italy, but has recently emerged on the illicit drug market in Europe and the United States. Etizolam is usually encountered in powdered form or in tablet form. Etizolam has also been encountered spiked onto blotter paper. On November 23, 2021, we had 2 police officers ringing our doorbell at 3:30 a.m. to tell us that our son, Matthias, died instantly because he walked, yes walked, in the middle of the highway and was hit by 3 cars. Blood tests showed a very high dose of Etizolam, 38 micrograms per milliliter. Apart from Etizolam, Matthias had no other substances in his blood, no alcohol, no other drugs, nothing, just the Etizolam. The Etizolam itself was not the cause of his death, but it made him unaware of the dangers of the traffic. For some reason, he decided to go for a walk with his dog in the middle of the night, and for some reason beyond our understanding, he ended up walking in the middle of the highway, close to his home. As the emergency doctor explained to us later, he found himself in a very peaceful bubble, completely relaxed but totally unaware of the dangers of traffic around him. Camera footage shows him walking, stumbling, from the right all the way to the left lanes of the highway and back. Trucks and cars are passing him on the right and left. Somewhere in the middle he got hit by a car and then another one and died instantly. While still lying on the highway, a 3rd car drove over him, leaving his body so severely damaged that I was never allowed to see him again. I could not say goodbye to my son. He was in a closed coffin when I arrived a few hours later. After his death, I discovered, by talking to his friends, that he suffered from an Etizolam addiction since about 6 months. During the summer, he managed to stop his intake completely. It took him about a month with severe withdrawal symptoms in the beginning, but he managed and did not miss work for 1 day. But for some reason, he took it again. Nobody knows when he started again or for how long he took them. He never told his mother about his addiction. As far as I knew, he never took more than a joint and some party drugs. He was a happy and relaxed guy who worked with disabled people, lived in a community with friends, and loved to travel and party. He showed no sign of any addiction at all. What makes me so very angry is the easiness to obtain these pills. He just ordered them online. It did not even cost much and was delivered by mail the next day. I found all the orders back in his emails after his death. Now I can only cry for my boy and shout out to the world. Stay away from these pills. They seem innocent, a few hours of nice relaxation and chill, but can be deathly. We're gonna save Quaaludes for part 3 since they put it in twice, and it's more of an obscure drug to be in part 2. Nootropics are colloquially brain supplements, smart drugs, and cognitive enhancers, are natural, semi-synthetic, or synthetic compounds which purportedly improve cognitive functions such as executive functions, attention, or memory. While commonly in form of dietary supplements, nutraceuticals, or energy drinks, some nootropic compounds are prescription and non-prescription drugs in various countries. Holy shit, I needed nootropics just to read through that fucking paragraph. Fuck. This drug is unlike anything else. I was having hard times to do all the assignments in college, so I look online for solutions. First day started with 600 milligrams on an empty stomach. I started doing laundry, nothing yet, and an hour later I felt the motive to do things I've been wanting to do for a while. I started off doing my homework. During the time on Modafinil, time goes by so fast. I was doing all my assignments at once, I did not even notice the time. I never got bored of doing challenging math problems. On the contrary, it was kind of fun. Second day started with 1200 on an empty stomach. It was simply beautiful. I was calm, nothing can bother me anymore. I went for a walk, I could see things differently, taking a deep breath. At this stage, I felt that my mood has changed for the better. This is the limit of Modafinil. I went to school, and for the first time, I have found school interesting. I continued taking Modafinil for 4 weeks, and it was a mistake. I had been having bruises all over my body, and orgasms in my sleep, so I had to stop. But the withdrawal effects were horrible. Yes, Modafinil comes with withdrawal effects. Second day off, it started vomiting, nausea, and depression, so stay away. Metadate CD, generic name methylphenidate, is a central nervous system stimulant primarily used to treat attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD or ADD, in children ages 6 to 12, adolescents, and adults up to age 65. Metadate CD may improve focus and decrease impulsivity and hyperactive behavior, two hallmark symptoms in some patients with the condition. It contains the same active ingredient as medications like Ritalin and Datrana. According to the FDA, Metadate CD is a federally controlled substance because it can be abused or lead to dependence. It has not been studied in children under the age of 6. And that concludes the Ultimate Drug Iceberg Explained Part 2. If you are enjoying this series and haven't yet, please like this video and subscribe if you're new. Alright, we'll be back next time with Part 3, where we dive deeper and deeper into the iceberg.